Well, hello there, students and parents. I hope everybody's well today. I am Dr. Matt Walker, and I'm a clinical audiologist. I have been a clinical audiologist since 2014, and I developed a great passion for helping people through the field because of my inspiration, who is my aunt. My aunt is actually a speech language pathologist in the Denton, Texas area. And I saw how she was able to help so many people as a speech language pathologist, to the point that when she would see them around town, they would come up and speak to her and say, "Hello, Miss Burchell. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me." And it really, really warmed my heart to see what a positive impact my aunt had on everybody that she served. So I will tell you a little bit about my story, and in the story, I'll tell you about how you can also become an audiologist if you'd like to. So, first of all, an audiologist is a person who focuses on the disorders surrounding hearing and balance. The hearing and the balance systems are connected in the organ of hearing known as the cochlea. All right. So we deal with hearing aids, cochlear implants, bone-anchored implants, and a host of other communicative and assistive listening devices to help communication become an easier process for people who have hearing difficulties, okay? That's my main area of focus. You could focus in the balance areas if you'd like as an audiologist. Okay, so I started my journey in undergrad as an undecided major, but I talked with a counselor who directed me in the area of communicative disorders. And so this is kind of like a starter area for those people who would like to either decide if they'd like to become a speech language pathologist, focusing on the disorders of speech and language, or if the person would like to focus on the route of becoming an audiologist, focusing on mainly hearing and balance disorders. Okay, they are related fields. So I decided to major in communicative disorders. Some people may call it communication sciences and disorders. Other people may just call it, speech language pathology, an undergraduate curriculum for that. So took those courses that gave me the basis of anatomy and physiology of the ear and of the vocal tract and of the brain, especially of the brain, leading down to the pathways of like the brain stem and down a person's back, and all of the muscles that we use for inspiration and expiration, inhaling and exhaling, for just carrying on speech and carrying on communication. I understand that not everyone uses spoken language as communication. Some people use sign, and that is very good. So I want to honor that. But we take those courses also telling you about the science behind communication sciences and disorders, and the classes teach you a little bit about the different disorders that people can have, from a person not being able to hear well due to an ear infection they had as a child, to a person having sudden hearing loss and a professional helping them work through that hearing loss, whether it's an ear, nose, and throat physician working with an audiologist, or whether it's a speech language pathologist who is helping with a rehabilitative effort for the person to be able to communicate with others. All right, so took those introductory courses or prerequisite courses, whatever you'd like to call them, and I hit an intro to audiology course. Hit meaning I took this class not really expecting a whole lot, because I planned on becoming a speech language pathologist, because that's what my aunt was or is. But I took this intro to audiology course, and the class was very analytical, and it made sense to me. It was like my light bulb moment. It was like, the light has come on. This makes sense to me. I think I really want to become an audiologist. So what do I have to do to become an audiologist from this point? I did 25 hours of shadowing an audiologist and shadowing a speech language pathologist. And I also just observed them in different spaces and in different environments. And that allowed me to finish that bachelor's degree in communicative disorders or communication sciences and disorders. And then I decided to go immediately into graduate school for an audiology degree. My degree is called the Clinical Doctorate of Audiology, or AUD. So for that, there used to be the requirement for a person to get a master's degree in audiology. However, that program has now been phased out, and people are required to pursue clinical doctorates of audiology. So I immediately applied for and was accepted to a clinical doctor of audiology program. And whoa, first of all, the shift from undergraduate coursework to graduate coursework is quite a shift. And you will find this as high school students, that the shift from your high school coursework or course load will be different than what you find at the bachelor's level. All right. You will find that when you get to college, no one will be there to wash your clothes for you. No one will be there to wake you up. You will really have to do it all on your own. There might be a curriculum that is outlined for you, but you are the one who's got to make the grades. Okay. So going back to the graduate part of the story, from undergrad to my graduate program. The graduate program had the courses already outlined for me. Take these courses on your first year. Take these other courses during your second year. Take these other courses during your third and fourth years. Because in many audiology programs, doctoral audiology programs, there is a requirement of a 3 to 4 year program that you complete with coursework and a clinical practicum where you work in various clinics to get hands-on experience and supervision from clinically certified audiologists or clinically competent audiologists. So I had the opportunities to work in so many different types of atmospheres and environments with so many wonderful people during my clinical coursework, graduate coursework. And after 4 years and after finishing a 1 year, we call it a clinical externship, but some people might call it something else. Some people might call it like a fellowship year or something like that in a different field. But we called it a clinical externship year. And during that year, I worked exclusively at one clinic, and I focused in areas of hearing and balance. I was doing balance testing, and I was doing testing for people who had disordered hearing, people who needed hearing aids, or people who needed cochlear implants, or people who just really needed an overall evaluation, hearing and balance due to other dizziness disorders. Anyway, had loads of fun, and I am so extremely grateful for the people who helped me along the journey. And I finished that program and graduated, and had a host of wonderful experiences since then. I've participated in lots of research, and I've gotten to help a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And one of the ways I love helping people is through giving back and through telling my story. So I really appreciate the opportunity to get to talk with you a little bit about what it takes to become an audiologist. And I would love for you to do the research on your own. You will not find this on TikTok or Instagram necessarily in this form that I want to tell you about, but I want to direct you to some sources that can be helpful to you in understanding more about audiology. And because I mentioned it, speech language pathology, it was what inspired me. You can go to ASHA.com, and that is the American Speech Language Hearing Association of America. It's one of the national bodies that we are accredited through and that we are certified through to be able to serve the needs of people here. I also want to direct your attention to the American Academy of Audiology. It's another fantastic resource about the field, and you can learn a lot more about what we do and the different types of environments that we work in, from school to forensic audiology, all the way to the hospital and intraoperative monitoring, where you're in the operating room with physicians and a patient who is having surgery for cochlear implants. So that's a little bit about us and I just would love for you to get the opportunity to search this field out on your own. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to ask somebody, or, find us on social media, find different audiologists in your area. Feel free to look me up on LinkedIn, Matt Walker or Dr. Matt Walker. I am there. And have a fantastic journey through from high school to your bachelor's degree program to your graduate program, if that's as far as you'd like to go. Reach for the stars and have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.